The next question is for Ustādh Hamzah al-Razzāq. Ustādh Hamzah, we heard you mention previously that fitna, it comes in waves, and that often when it appears, you see panic and you see people retreat to their homes. So is this how the people should deal with these fitan? And you find that these affairs become emotional, and the people mention affairs such as, I can't take fitna anymore. I liked it better when we were all united and when we were all together. So what would you advise with in times of fitan?
Alhamdulillah wahdah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala man la nabiyya ba'dah. Wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man tamassaka bi sunnatihi ila yawm ad-din. Wa sallama taslima kathira amma ba'd. I mean, based upon what the questioner is asking, of course we know like fitan breaks down into different types. We have fitan is anwa'. Like we know, fitan, we have fitna al-shubuhat, fitan al-shahawat, fitan of adam al-aman fi balad mu'ayyan. You have fitan, trials or tribulations of ambiguities and doubtful matters. And in the foundations, or one's foundation is religion being corrupt, which is some type of deviance. That's a fitna. Fitna is of so many different types, and each one has its own way of how it's dealt with and how it's cured. For you'll find that, of course, we know that ambiguities is returned back to al-ilm, or the doctors, for removal of ambiguities. It's returned back to al-ilm and the people who have the ability to remove it from your heart. Because we know that is the worst of fitan, that a person be tried and tested in their religion. That is the worst musibah, the worst affliction that anyone could be tested with is in their religion, and especially in the sound creed and conviction of an individual. So the only way that can be removed is by someone of ilm. Then you have, likewise, similar to that, shahawat, the same exact thing. For a person needs to receive some type of exhortation and reminder about fear of Allah Ta'ala in order to have those type of fitna, those trials or tribulations removed. Because shahawat, desires, is also a type of test that one is being, if you want to say, put to trial by in his religion, in his istiqam, in his uprightness with Allah Ta'ala. So all those different types of fitna, there's a certain way you have to deal with it in order for it to be removed and be cured. Similar to that, the person in the question, from what I understand, is that the fitan of what is taking place in certain Muslim countries, such as what's taking place in Sudan right now, may Allah Ta'ala aid them and remove from them their hardships and their difficulties and the chaos that's taking place. Of course, we know those type of fitan of not having security in the lands where it's a bunch of chaos and mass hysteria and a lot of riots and revolts and uprisings that's taking place. The Prophet ﷺ gave us a cure to how to deal with that type of fitna. For you see now that the people have transgressed the boundaries and exceeded the boundaries of what the Messenger of Allah ﷺ gave an advice, where they now go and went against the leader in order to remove him. And the people now the affairs of that particular country is in a state of anarchy. There's chaos, there's mass hysteria, and people are rioting and destroying people's property that they work for. And you'll find that people's lives are being transgressed against, and their honor and the things that they work for, and their buildings and their businesses are being burnt up, and their cars. This is the reason why the Messenger of Allah told us to what? To observe the obedience to the ruler, even if he's tyrannical or an oppressive individual. So after the people still didn't want to take the advice of the Messenger of Allah and they transgressed it, what came as a result of it is these repercussions and consequences we see taking place now, which is chaos in the streets. Chaos and fitan. So now it's reached that level. Now we have other instructions. Those instructions, when the chaos and the, as they say, shadar madar, the helter-skelter that's taking place in the streets, The Prophet ﷺ now gives us other instructions. Do we go out? Do we participate in the riots, in the uprising, in the uproar, in the mass hysteria? Ilzamu buyutakum. Stay in your homes. Don't participate. Stay in your homes. Ilzamu buyutakum. Stay in your houses. So that type of fitna is dealt with in that manner. Each type of trial and tribulation in our lives, ya ma'ashar al-ikhwa, is dealt with in a certain manner in light of Kitab and Sunnah. Likewise, if someone dies in our family, someone close to us, dear to us, dies, passes away. The Prophet ﷺ gave us that's a musibah, that's a trial, that's a test. The Prophet ﷺ gave us instructions of how to deal with it, and what to do, and what to say, and what to not do, and what to not say when that happens. So we have that type of way we would deal with that type of fitna. See, each fitna, alhamdulillah, in the religion, each has its way of how it's dealt with. And there's a lot of trials and tribulations that take place. So the person, as far as I know, in the other part of the question, he said, what was the last part again?
So those that say, those that become emotional, they say, I can't take fitna anymore. I'd like to better when we were all together. What do you advise them?
Jade. So now they say that I'm tired of fitna. I do not think that a person that reads the book of Allah Ta'ala and reads the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ cannot come to the realization and the reality that we're in this dunya to know that we're in a place called Dar al-Ibtila. We're in the realm or the world of trials and tribulations. Shittum am abaytum. Whether you want to accept it or reject it. This world is called the world of trials and tribulations. So you're not going to escape that. I just said in a lecture when we was speaking to the people, giving them a reminder before Maghrib, how many ayahs do we read in the book of Allah Ta'ala? ما كان الله ليذر المؤمنين على ما أنتم عليه حتى يميز الخبيث من الطيب. You can count after ayat, after ألف لام ميم حسب الناس أن يتركوا أن يقولوا آمنا بالله وهم لا يفتنون ولقد فتنا الذين من قبلهم فلا يعلمن الله الذين صدقوا ولا يعلمن الكاذبين أم حسب الذين يعملون السيئات أن يسبقونا ساء ما يحكمون من كان يرجو لقاء الله فإن أجل الله لآت وهو السميع العليم. We said that in the class right before Maghrib, right? So you read the book of Allah, you find all these ayat. وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَالنَّقْصِ مِنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ والثمرات ايش؟ الذين إذا قالوا أولئك وأولئك. You got the ayats memorized. طيب. So you already know what Allah has promised in His book. That as long as you're in this dunya, you're always going to be what? You're always going to be tried and tested. It's not going to. There's no such thing as a flawless life in this dunya. It doesn't exist. Everyone's going to taste pain in their health and their wealth, their children, and themselves. We know that Ibn al-Qayyim says just being a mere human being is a fitna. It's a fitna just being a human being. All these different tests we have to endure. Being a human being is fitna. Trying to uphold the dawah and taking punches and being a punching bag for the communities to hold them together is fitna. Being tested with your wife, because we know the woman, you have to deal with them in a certain way, it's fitna. Children is fitna. Wealth is fitna. Pain you feel in your body is fitna. Being tired sometimes, so many. You're not going to be excused from what everyone is going through every day. We just said that Ibn al-Qayyim mentioned in the speech that we said, that Ibn al-Qayyim said that, he said, لَا بُدَ يَحْصُلْ لِكُلِّ نَفْسٍ إيش ألم آمنت أو رغبت عن الإيمان. Every soul and every person is going to taste pain and discomfort, whether they believe or they disbelieve. Yes, you see the reality was taking place. So I don't think that anyone that reads the book of Allah and the Sunnah of the Prophet could actually say, I'm tired of fitan. Fitan is the way that Allah Ta'ala displays if you have high status. That's the only way you can attain it. It's about trials and tribulations. That's the reason, one of the reasons why, if you mention, and I think it's in Miftah Dar al-Sa'ada, why, for example, shaitan was created, why we go through evils and pains, and, for example, we set out for jihad, whether it be with the sword or even defending the Sunnah, and the pain we get of the enemies saying evil about us and talking ill about us, and the discomfort we get, that all of these things have been legislated in order for us to raise our status, to be raised by Allah, ta'ala. Every time you feel pain, you become patient, Allah ta'ala raises your status. Every time, for example, now, we know the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. What did he mention about the mu'min that tastes pain, that accept that everything that he gets, even it says, وَحَتَّى شَوْكَةً يُشَاقُهَا, even the prick that he receives, that accept that he will have some khataya removed from him and remitted from him. All of that is to raise your status, to raise your degrees, and to make you attain a high status with Allah ta'ala in this world and the hereafter by trials and tribulations. That's the only way you can attain it. There's no getting around it. I thought so. That's the only way you can attain it, through tests, trials, and tribulations, right, everyone? سلعة الله غالية. ألا إن سلعة الله الجنة. The price of Allah ta'ala, سلعة الله غالية, or the merchandise of Allah ta'ala is expensive. Meaning that your brothers, you're going to go, and sisters, you're going to go through things in your life. It's no getting around it. And like we talked about before, the more you'll be loved with Allah ta'ala, your trials and tribulations are going to be intensified. It's going to get harder. Your stability and your firmness in the religion is going to be intensified. It's going to be increased. And that's what happened with all the prophets and the messengers. All of them tasted pain from the kuffar. All of them tasted pain from the munafiqeen. Tasted pain from their families. Even sometimes tasted pain from those who were closest to them. Tested in every single way. That's what's going to happen to everyone, and there's no way you're going to escape that reality. So that's the answer to that other question. There's no person that can say, I'm tired of fitna. That statement is Allah knows best, is due to lack of knowledge. For if you have ilm, know that every wave of fitna, when it comes, especially even the fitna of ambiguities, especially during these times where we see that the Ahl Sunnah, the people are being tested where certain things come up. If you have your usul, your foundations of Salafī in order, you know how to deal with it. You know what to do. So not any fitna that will come except that you know how to react based upon your experience and based upon the knowledge you possess in the usul of Salafiyya. You stick to your usul, you're good. No matter what fitna will come. And like we said, there's no way to say that fitna, I'm tired of it. The Prophet ﷺ promised it's going to keep coming, and keep coming, and keep coming. فَتَجِيءُ الْفِتْنَةِ فَيُرَقِّقُ بَعْضُهَا بَعْضًا ثُمَّ تَنْكَشِفْ فَيَقُولُ الْمُؤْمِنُ هَذِهِ مُهْلِكَتِي ثُمَّ تَجِيءُ الْفِتْنَةِ فَيُرَقِّقُ بَعْضُهَا بَعْضًا فَيَقُولُ الْمُؤْمِنُ هَذِهِ to the end of the hadith, وَمَنْ أَحَبَّ أَنْ يُزَحْزَحَ عَنِ النَّارِ وأدخل الجنة فلتأته منيته وهو يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر وليأتي إلى الناس ما يحب أن يؤتى إليه فمن باع إماما فأعطاه صفقة يده وثمرة قلبه فليطيعه إن استطاع فإن جاء الآخر يريد أن ينازعه فاضربوا عنق الآخر. To the end of the hadith. That the Prophet ﷺ clearly mentioned the hadith, which is a Sahih Muslim. I think it's Kitab al-Fitan. That he said fitna is going to continue to come, especially that which tests you in your religion and the aspect of the foundation, your belief system. It's going to come, and other ways. It's going to come. Then once that comes, the mu'min will say, this is my destruction. It will go away. Then the one after that will come will be worse in comparison to the one that left and departed. So all these are narrations you read every day. So no one can say, now I'm just tired of fitna. It's all in how you deal with it. And make sure you're dealing with it properly. Not in statements, not in actions. All those things we've been given clear guidance and a criteria and instructions of how to deal with it. Doesn't matter if it's fitna of death, we have instructions. Whether it's fitna of desires, we have instructions. We have fitna of when you lose your loved one or your wealth, we have instructions of what to do. And even the fitna and the chaos of the security being lost in the lands, we have guidance and we have proper guidelines to know how to deal with it. So each fitna has its guidelines of what we're supposed to do in order to please Allah, to be with the Allah, by sticking and clinging to those guidelines.